Today I want to talk about the ultimate gatekeep. So I know we hear this word thrown around all the time now. It's a really trendy term to say about a lot of things. But really, gatekeeping is about the culling and crafting of a particular set of data points that then get disseminated. So big amounts of information, culled and crafted into a smaller amount of information, and then disseminated out. And that is how communication is monitored. That's how the media controls things. Well, that's great. Let's take this concept into the abuse population that I work with, and let's talk about what abuse gatekeeping is. And that is the greatest social control or the brainwashing narrative that happens for victims. And it is enacted by the perpetrators, right? So the king of all gatekeepers is an abusive perpetrator who wants to control the information so that his story is told and yours is not. And then he'll use all sorts of kind of abusive tactics, like talking to you about your trauma, that you just need to get past it, or, that you're constantly living in the past. Like, you need to just get over this and just move on. So the ultimate, if you don't forgive, you're never going to move past this. We're never going to heal. And so it isn't his behavior anymore. It is now your problem because you won't move on. You won't let it go. So, an abusive man or narcissist or somebody who's just relationally toxic will commit these egregious human crimes that are quite costly, actually. I've talked about this quite a bit, about how costly our behavior is to one another and the toll that it takes on us as individuals and really as a society. And what he does is he gatekeeps that information, disseminates out a different version of it to all of his flying monkeys who now, get on his side of the street, the bystanders, and won't actually do their due diligence to dig into what really happened. And the phenomenon is quite fascinating from a behavioral or a social science perspective. But as a human being, it is absolutely one of the most devastating conditions that we have to live with. So the ultimate victim blame and the ultimate, gatekeep is controlling the information about what abuse really is and how it really happens. And this is the reason why I don't really talk about, I don't really like to use the word narcissist, because that gets thrown around in the folk psych and pop psych arena as really the condition that we're dealing with. And really what we're talking about is an abuse to humanity. It is inhumane treatment of one individual against the will and well-being of another individual. So if you've got a gatekeeper in your life and you're trying to have a conversation, go to your safe space. Back away, disengage, disconnect, because you can't have a conversation with the gatekeeper. They will always control the flow of that information. They will make you feel bad. Well, they'll cause you to feel bad by the way that they frame everything up. They will behave as though they've been the injured party because you don't forgive, or because you won't let go, or you won't move on. And you're at loggerheads. You cannot engage in a conversation with somebody who's controlling the narrative and culling and disseminating details that aren't even factual. That's not the way it happened. That's not the order of events. And not only that, the most important thing that they're doing is negating that you have feelings and that your feelings matter. The impact of that egregious abusive behavior matters. And that's what they're trying to control. So if you're working through this behavioral issue and you need help, come see us at Center for Peace. This is something that we do really, really well, is work on how to help you unpack all of that gatekeeping behavior and really get to your story so that you can act as an agent, an authoritative agent of the truth. Come see us, www.cenfp.org.